Tears streamed down her face as she reveled in her aloneness. After resenting herself for what she had just done, she isolates herself in a four-wall room. Those are the frequent feelings of a teenage pregnant lady who wishes and hopes to turn back the clock and modify her current situation. According to Dr. Sadizal, ang kabataan ay ang pag-asa ng bayan. But in today's generation, do you still have the guts to demand that we are the hope for a brighter tomorrow? A generation where there are a lot of teenagers who get pregnant at an early age, which can ruin their goals and objectives in life. They are very self-centered individuals and only think about themselves, the pleasure, without foreseeing its consequences. Arthur Campbell famously quoted, "A girl was an illegitimate child at the age of 16. Suddenly has 90% of her life script written for her." A few weeks ago, I went to the mall to relax and buy some food. While I was roaming around, I saw a girl that really caught my attention. She could not have been more than 16 years old. Her stomach was too enormous to conceal. She was clearly pregnant. And even worse, she was wheeling a stroller with a small child whose only word seemed to be mommy, referring to the young girl. When I observe an incredibly adolescent lady getting pregnant at an early age, I feel so sad because becoming a mother is not that easy. Raising a child involves patience and sacrifices which a lot of teens don't have. Teenage pregnancy is an important topic to discuss, particularly in our nation, the Philippines. It is one of the public's most pressing concerns. According to a Rappler poll, 59% of Filipinos consider it to be the most pressing issue right now. Furthermore, according to UNFPA's January 2020 brief policy on eliminating teenage pregnancy in the Philippines, there are 47 yearly births per 1,000 Filipinos aged 15 to 19, compared to 44 globally. And every day, 500 adolescents are either getting pregnant or giving birth. The above figures are already staggering, and we can't help but feel compelled to act. We must remember that this problem causes other slew issues. This is one of the reasons why the Philippines abortion rate is increasing, why the cases of rape continue rising, why discrimination happened, why the suicide rate is still high, and why overpopulation remains an insurmountable problem. With more than 100 million people, the Philippines is the 13th most populous nation in the world. The current population in the Philippines is 111,516,136 as of Sunday, October 31, 2021, based on Worldometer elaboration of the latest United Nations data. To think about it, teenage pregnancy is a contributing factor of our country's continually expanding population. But one of the primary reasons why there are teenagers that are easily pregnant is poverty, which is exacerbated by overpopulation. Do you have any idea what the riddle is? That the issues we have in our country are similar to a virus or a disease that is spreading to other areas. They're all helping each other out. And as a nation, we must stand unified and respond to these pressures. R.H. Bill made his debut as a performer in 2014. After a 14-year wait, it finally happened. The laws are intended to educate and govern our country's population. The statute mandated that sex education be taught in public schools to children aged 10 to 19. By sharing their sagacity, this RH Act can go a long way towards preventing minors from becoming pregnant early and unintentionally. By teaching students how to use condoms and what they're for, they'll be more aware of the consequences. The government has also observed how most youths regard sexual behavior as a form of recreation. It's become a pastime for them. Although many lawmakers have proposed using condoms and other contraceptives as another means of abortion, we can just sit back and watch what's going on in our country. First and foremost, teenage pregnancy is one of the reasons why the abortion rate in the Philippines remains high. According to Real Population Review, 10 abortions per 100,000 people are documented in the Philippines each year. While abortion is still stigmatized in the Pearl of the East, also known as the Philippines, people are nevertheless able to find the means to carry out the severely prohibited act. Can we, however, blame them? It's possible that yes, but it's also possible that no, because not all pregnant teenagers intended what happened to them. There may be a darker element to their narrative that is revealed later. Second, we can hear news reports about the cases of rape victims among teenagers that lead them to pregnancy. Mr. Romeo Dogito, Executive Director of the Philippines Legislatory Committee on Population Development, said during the Panisal Forum in Kamuning, Quezon City, that the number of teenage moms aged 10 to 14 is 2,250. When they looked at 15 to 20 years old, only 50,000 of the 151,000 births had teenage moms' boyfriends who were the same age. It was accepted that over 100,000 people were over the age of 65. When we consider it from a philosophical and comprehensive standpoint, bringing attention to our country's high rape rate, which stands at 10 instances per 100 people, the same as the Philippines abortion rate. Given this information and data, it is possible that majority of our teenage mothers have been sexually abused or assaulted. This is a miscarriage that was not planned. The abuse they've endured has been difficult for them because of their young age and fragile minds. Both emotionally and intellectually, it is killing them. That may also be the reason why most sexually abused moms kill both their children and themselves because they can no longer bear the embarrassment. Third, if sexual harassment prevails, the rate of suicide in our country will also be higher and risen. That is because of the trauma that they can no longer countenance. It is one of the most common causes of death among female adolescents. A greater risk is seen in teen mothers who become pregnant outside of marriage, are abused, and consider suicide as a solution to unresolved problems. Every year, 703,000 people take their own lives, and there are many more people who attempt suicide. Every suicide is a tragedy that affects families, communities, and entire countries, and has long-lasting effects on the people left behind. Teenage women who are pregnant or are mothers are 7 times more likely to commit suicide other than teenagers. Lastly, discrimination against teenage mothers is very rampant, and it is undeniable that discrimination can really scar them. Most of the people will judge them because they got pregnant at an early age without knowing the main reason. As we all know, we live in a democratic country where prejudice and discrimination are prevalent. According to the study of Bisham 2002, he further emphasizes this point by giving evidence of discrimination against pregnant schoolgirls, wherein they are avoided by their peers because they associate teenage mothers with low morals, and they do not even want to use the same toilet as the pregnant girl uses because of the fear of contracting sexual transmitted disease. This research justifies how much discrimination they receive from places. Without knowing their real story, they are judged as if it is all their mistakes and carelessness. In conclusion, the majority of people believe that pregnant teenagers are all hormones and a bed of roses throughout their mating. Regrettably, this is a common misunderstanding. Teenage pregnancy has several negative aspects that are sometimes overlooked. There are a slew of issues brought on by it, such as overpopulation, abortion, rape, suicide, and discrimination. Pregnancy is a blessing for some people, not for others, not to everyone, especially when there is a tragic narrative behind it. And certainly not a family with a large number of children. The population may be a valuable resource, but unfortunately, we have a dysfunctional administration. As a result, we must make the required modifications. We must assist in population management and have a more stringent government in enforcing rules and regulations. Teen pregnancy is a serious problem that should be avoided as much as possible. It produces a slew of avoidable difficulties if the appropriate decisions are taken. And we have a strong support system in our nation. That's all. Thank you.